think we are live. In fact, I should check the tuning on this, which I haven't done. Probably a good idea. You know, it's a little bit. Not a bad idea. That's a bit much. Where is it? Right there. There we go. Yeah, they're all a little flat except for the high E, which made it sound a little out of tune. There we go. Much better. There we go. That's the metal version. That's the Zakk Wylde version. Who do we got? Fretless Ed, Deanna, Terry 3G, Yeti Motzi, Strat CPO. We got Vince, Curtis C, Zach H, Browns fan, Chris, Gary Davlin. What's up, buddy? Retro Puffer, Scott Thomas, Ambrose and Keith's World, Bill Franz, Tony. What's up, dude? Music Sound Gear, Trolls, Eric. Yeti Mouse, you couldn't say that already. Got Eric. Got Chris, Matt. What's up, Rick? What's up, Speaker? What's up, dude? We got Josh, Michael, Deanna, which you may have mentioned earlier, but we'll mention it again. Retro Puffer, Fiesta, Rico B. Got David T. Jackson. Dude. Got Eli, Steve, and DL. What's up, Seth? What's up, Josh? Bought a Harley Benton because me. Nice. They do sound good. I was just playing mine the other day. What's up, Gary and Manfred? Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. I had doubters, but I said there will be a Christmas miracle, and we will see the return of the prodigal son. Ben Coombs. Ben Coombs, welcome. Good to see you, man. They doubted me. They thought it was the Great Pumpkin, but I said no. No, I believe. I believe. Does it sound okay? My voice okay? The guitar okay? I told you it's a Christmas miracle. I mean, sure, there were many sleepless nights. What if he doesn't show? What about all that money you laid down at the track? You know? Good to be here. Usually teaching on Saturdays these days. I hear you. In fact, I went and saw a buddy of mine the other day. It is a Christmas miracle, right, Terry? It is. It's an absolute Christmas miracle. I met with a friend of mine the other day who I have known since like when I was in high school, like the summer I got out of high school, and he worked at the mall, and I worked at the mall, And at first he worked at the record store, but then he wound up working for the mall management, and so did I. But he was like indoor mall management, and I worked in landscaping. I did outdoor. And but we've known each other all this time. And he reached out to me, and I said, you know what? I got a couple of guitars you can have, you know, that are just in the way. So I gave him a couple of, I had a Squire and a Starcaster that I had gone over. I was going to sell them. You know, I gave him the once over from head to toe. They were in peak condition, but couldn't sell. The only place you can really sell a guitar that cheap is on Craigslist, because on Reverb it's just not worth it. They'll eat you all up in fees, and no one's spending $60 in shipping on a, you know, on a guitar that's like $50 or $100. I mean, these are cheap guitars. So when I couldn't use Craigslist, because now they want a friggin' phone number, and they don't like my Google Voice numbers, I was sort of stuck with them, and I said, dude, take them, give them to a student, you know, raffle them away, do a promo, have an emergency guitar. If somebody shows up and they don't have a working guitar, they forgot their guitar, you have a guitar here they can use, you know. Exactly. If Ben Coombs were alive today, he'd be showing up on my show. Yeah, the record store. I think it was Record Town, and then I forgot the second name. It was another name. He remembered it. He goes, when I worked there, it wasn't Record Town. It was this other place. But, oh yeah. You know, that's when you had a boss who was like going over to the, you know, the bar at the Midway, pounding a few drinks at lunch, picking up a little bit of blow, getting a little kooky, and then coming and hitting everybody up for $10 to $20 because he wanted more blow and more beers. And it was like, I never gave him money. But then one day he was just gone, and a lot of dudes got burned. Like, that dude owes me like $50, and I'm sure, I can't impart to you, $50 in 1985 is kind of a lot of money. But he owed me nothing. But yeah, he just split one day. That dude, he was a maniac. He was the boss. Yeah, see, Ben, in your absence, you missed a running joke we've had. Which is, it started off, I think I was playing a Steinberger, and the joke was, if Hendrix were alive today, he'd probably be playing a Steinberger, right? Of course he would. And that morphed into people who were still alive, right? So I'd be playing like an ESP, like total like metal shred guitar, and I'd be like, well, you know, if Jimmy Page was still alive, he'd probably be playing an ESP LTD. And of course, people in the chat are like, he is still alive! But it's like, you know, it's a joke. It's just a joke. $50 is a lot today, right? Yeah. Yeah, take a look at this puppy. Yeah, see? Yeah. Nice job you got there. Woohoo! Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a new Pesa Carrera. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can get my hands on one. Because Zounds is a Kramer dealer. So they definitely carry a lot of Kramer stock. I could probably get one. Yeah, rip Clammy. demoed the same exact model and finish. Cool 5-piece neck. Yeah, it's got the neck. Hold on, my foot's getting caught on this here. Hold on. Yeah, it's got, it's got the neck through. You know, pretty sweet. Yeah. Oh, sure. I had to get red, you know, something red for Christmas. And besides, this is sort of the guitar of the week, so. In the blues, what is up, dude? We're gonna... Jazz. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, you forget they're an LLC. All right. Yeah. You know, I know the LLC, they'll get you. They have no sense of humor. Oh, look at you, Tony. 5 memberships. All right, who do we have? We have Jeffrey White. Searching for Tone. Axe Slinger. PXN America. Basil Tiffany. Shame. Shame is upon you and your family and your kids and your kids' kids for 30 days. But then it expires. Shame has an expiration. Thank you, Tony. Very nice. Thanks, Chris. Merry Christmas, Zoot. How's your weather? I'm watching In the Blues, like, you know, hiking out in the sunshine. I'm like, oh, that's right, it's his summer. Yes, we were supposed to get a dusting, and we got like 6 inches. It was quite the snow. We got set up right up in this pocket, and Boston didn't get as much as we did, and they got 5.5 inches. So there was no official total, but it feels around 6. You know, exactly. It's the channel of, we're channeling all our shame. Did I practice the Christmas song last year? I did. Christmas is coming up fast, so let's see if I get a Christmas song done this year. I've been toying with a couple of ideas, just throwing things around, seeing, what sticks, maybe something. We'll see. 81F. Yeah, it's that was this clipper system that came through, but what it really does is it's tearing a bunch of cold air out of Canada. So the dew point's falling into the single digits. That's pretty dry, and the air is just chilling out fast. It's down into the lower 20s. That's negative for UC people. We're in negative territory. Very much so. Been hitting this. We're going to have a white Christmas. Shockingly, we haven't had one in like forever, and we usually don't have one here. It's just too warm. We're too close to the water. The whole area is just too close to, you're more likely to have it in the middle of the country than this far towards the coast. But no, we got cold air locked in place. We have plenty of snow on the ground, and they don't see it going anywhere. And we might even see another little bit of snow on Christmas Eve. So, we're almost certainly going to have a white Christmas. Like the first one in, I think, 5 years or 6 years. Yeah, it's getting really. Yeah, no, it's going to be down in the single digits. The dew point's already down in the single digits, so that's the potential low. Depends on if the wind slows down. If the wind slows down, it'll drop. But if the wind stays going, usually, believe it or not, the wind can actually keep the temperatures a little higher. 65 in Denver. Damn. Well, that's usually what it is, right? It's cold in the east and it's warm in the west. And then when it's cold in the west, it's warm in the east. Sort of the yin and yang of a large continent. Cold air punches down in the west, and it punches up warm air in the east. Cold air punches down in the east, and it punches up warm air in the west. Kind of a thing. Yeah, you wrote a Christmas piece on acoustic to play Christmas Eve here for the family. Oh, that's nice. That sounds real nice. We're going to do it here because my wife's going to go get the tenderloin, which is up. Last year the tenderloin was, I want to say, about 120. But you can cut it in two and get 2 roasts out of it. You don't have, it's a big, long tenderloin. You don't have to eat it all in one sitting. Though I think last year I just folded it all up into one and tied it into one big roast. And we wound up eating like 80% of it. And then the rest were, leftovers. But everyone wants to take some home, But this year the tenderloins were a little higher. Tenderloin was more like 135 to 145. So up a good, $10-20 from last year. You guys go out when it's freezing. Well, you kind of have to. Like today, I was out there shoveling a little bit and cleaning the cars off because they were just absolutely covered, and had to get the cars going and warming them up because they were just covered in ice. And then you got to put down the salt because the salt, without it, it'll freeze really just like solid ice. But if you put the salt down, especially if you put enough of it down, it will it'll melt the ice just enough that it'll evaporate. And what you're left with is just salt grains and like a white coating on everything from the salt, but no ice. And so it's a lot less treacherous. Because we're going to be below freezing, I think, up until maybe a little after Christmas. And then it's going to warm up. If they're lucky, which it looks like, it might warm up for New Year's Eve. And we'll see. Usually, what will warm up this time of year comes with rain. So let's see if it shows up with some rain. There was a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, it was absolutely pouring, and I mean pouring rain, and ice cold winter rain like you can't even imagine. And I just remember seeing Steve Harvey out there with a look on his face going, are we really doing this? Are you really making me do this? Okay. And like being very pissed off to be out in those conditions. As the rain poured down. He had an enormous umbrella, and I think he even had something on top of him. And it was bad. That was like the worst one. So I do love the New Year's Eve debacles. Yeah, did I get any pictures of the snow? Let me take a look here. I don't think I did, though. No, I didn't. I did not. I did, I did notice this the other day, though. What the hell is that all about? There's something new coming to Vola. I texted my sources today and was like, what the frick? I'll take the S-style one. But I haven't heard back. Yeah, it's been unusually quiet. This is that's Henri. That's the cat. You might see her. You don't see her all that much. Here's the 20. Yeah. Oh no, today is the winter solstice. Just like in the blues is having his summer solstice. It's like the hottest. It's the longest day of the year for him. Shortest night. We are having the complete opposite. So I found these are the magazines I bought the other day when I went with Speaker. With the Gambali. And then this is July 81, with Styx on the cover, because I had this one. I read it like cover to cover 1,000 times, and it's just like such a nostalgic throwback. And I was laughing because I was like, there's a lot of marketing to women these days, because I think that the guitar industry just sees that as a lot more area of growth than with the male market. Like, male market might be sort of, wrapped up. So they're going more towards, a female market, but that was female marketing. Basically marketing the guy. Right. That was women in with guitars in 1981. We're gonna slap them in a bikini. Yeah, that's it. Hold the guitar up there, honey. So bad. So friggin' bad. Although even worse than that was, I think, the BC Rich, the Pluck a Virgin ad. I think that got a couple of publications to publish apologies for running it. Yeah, that exactly. That's the original 80s clickbait. Yes, you throw a chick in a bikini, hold up the guitar. There you go. We'll sell 1 million of them, I tell you. Exactly like beer commercials. Until, right, they got rid of the friggin'. They went from chicks in bikinis to, frog puppets to when, craft beer got big, this like documentary style, shallow focus of a dude, you know, pouring a beer and being, my grandfather ate Dolphus Bush. I'm very serious. We're such a craft company. 30 years ago, it was this titty ads. 20 years ago, it was frog puppets. What's up, Coots? Yeah, did Elvira have a beer? She's been doing a lot of I've seen her around lately. She's been out doing the podcast circuit. So I've seen her around. And, she's funny. Schlitz Rocks America with ZZ Top. Was it Schlitz and ZZ Top? Yeah, you might be right. Oh, that's right. It's football today. Football Saturday. What's up, Jeff? You guys get your shopping done? I'm pretty much all done. I got most of the stuff wrapped. I'm pretty ahead of it this year. We did a members only video. I did my synth area. I shot that on my phone. I went back and forth with the Action 5, that new spy cam, the Chinese spy cam. And the without a doubt, the Action 5 had better like low light performance, like those shadows were brought out more, into the dark areas, without a doubt. But when I first shot it, man, oh my God, it looked like shit. It was very mushy. I'm like, this doesn't look right. But it seems like that they had changed something in the firmware update where you could go to high bit rate. So I switched it to high bit rate, and it was a lot better, without a doubt. But still, compared to the Galaxy S23, which isn't even the latest model, it's from 2 years ago. The Galaxy still, I thought, looked better, looked sharper. It had much better close focusing. It was like night and day. And when you compared the files, the Action 5 Pro, before I went to high bitrate, was about 70 megs per second. When I went to high bitrate, it was about 101, 102 megs per second. But the Galaxy S23, at the same res, 4K, 60 frames per second, was 145 megs a second. Megabytes per second bitrate. So much, much higher bitrate. And I just thought it looked cleaner. I just thought the whole thing looked good. So if you just got a membership, you can check out, I have a couple of videos that are for members only that I put out at YouTube's insistence. Still need to wrap, the least favorite part. Yeah, I set up a little wrapping station. I find that it makes it a lot easier, right? I get everything right there, and I just try to whip through it with, something on in the background. The Schmitz, right. Beautiful girls, but the pool party was all guys. The other one was The Simpsons. when it's like a bunch of like feminist protesters. And he goes, "Hold on a second, boys," and he shakes up the Duff beer and sprays it on them, and they melt away into bikini girls. Now that's writing. You still have to wrap a bunch of gifts. I got ahead of it. I started wrapping like about a week, maybe 10 days ago, and just to get them out of here. And so I'm definitely pretty well ahead of it. How does one become a member and or contribute to your channel page? I think there's a super chat for a one-time contribution. The memberships, I don't know if you can buy them through the chat. I think you might. I don't know how they do. I don't know how that happens. I think you might have to go to my main page and go to memberships. Other people, I never bought my own membership, so I don't know. You just give Amazon gift cards out, yeah. You hate wrapping gifts with a passion, yeah. Well, because it's a lot of work for a very little payoff, right? Everything just gets ripped open, and oh my God, when I had little kids, you got a giant trash bag going of all the, the wrapping, all the countless hours, putting bikes together, and oh my God. And we wouldn't put the gifts out until the night before Christmas. So the Christmas tree would be empty. And then Christmas morning they'd come down and there'd be, all these gifts everywhere. And we would put them all out the night before. We put all the gifts out the night before. Oh my God. My wife was saying, she goes, "What the hell were we thinking?" I'm like, I don't know. We had more energy. We couldn't even conceive of that now. We're like, what? Put everything out the night before? That's crazy. Okay, In the Blue says there's a join button near the sub button. There you go. Yeah, so the dollar button I know goes to like Super Chat, but membership is, I don't know if it's under the same area. Marshall says if you're on a mobile device, you might have to use the browser instead of the app. Okay, good to know. Same here, was the best. Now I gotta go overboard with the grandkids, yeah. Right to damn you all, I know. Hey, what's up, Metalhead Hippie? Merry Christmas. Recently bought a Sterling Cutlass CT50 and an MGI Tokai Love Rock. Oh yeah, the Love Rock. Great guitars, yeah. And the Cutlass is nice too. I think I did a CT50 here. It was a great guitar. The Sterling stuff has all been pretty damn good. I only had one guitar come in that I couldn't use. Because as I was shooting the video, I realized, I said, I think this bridge pickup is either wired incorrectly or it's broken. There's no way. The other two pickups, it was 3 pickup guitar. The other 2 pickups sounded fine. But the bridge, I'm like, no, there's something wrong. There's something wrong there. And so I told them, they're like, okay, we'll flag it for warranty service. And I sent it back. Only one, though. Everything else has been pretty good. I would do on Christmas Eve. Yeah. Man, that's a lot. Oh, no, I couldn't wait that long. God. Yeah, I thought so. I thought I did a video on the CT50. That rings a bell. Your Sterling purchases have all been great. They've been pretty consistent for quality, I found. Very good. We don't really get Takai guitars in the U.S. Takai at Takei. Like George Takei. The necks on Sterlings are a bit thicker, which I prefer. I didn't think the neck was overly thick, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's not like this neck. New guitar yesterday, a 2013 Guitar Center exclusive telly with a hardtail and a humbucker in the bridge. That's nice. When it's splittable. Oh, that's nice. See, we're supposed to get really cold for tomorrow, then maybe moderate back to get up to around. We're going to be way below freezing. Maybe we'll get up to around freezing, and then that's about it. Then I think, Christmas is here. It was a very short time. It was a late Thanksgiving this year, so they said it was like a shorter period between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Without a doubt. And then MIJ 2024 for $950, asking off at $850. Got it, yeah. You know what? You're in the buyer's, sort of advantage right now, because sellers do not have an advantage right now. People don't buy guitars for Christmas, except for themselves, right? But they're buying things for other people. So sales for guitars, I find, go down as you get close to Christmas, because you have other expenses and people buy guitars for themselves, not for other people. So the best time in the summer, I do really good in July and August, because people are either out of school or whatever, or they have summer jobs where they earn money. Gets to the end of August, I do really good in August selling guitars, and March and April, because people get their taxes back. And it's mad money that they can just throw in a purchase. And so that's where I find the best time of year is. March, April, and July and August. In the U.S. anyway. Yeah, I saw, Ben Coombs hit 6,000 today. That's pretty nice. RG gave it a little push. Got him north. Robert Baker in the house, man. What's a Robert Baker at? Any guitars you missed out on getting this year? I really wanted a Gibson Les Paul Custom, but no one would buy me one. Insert sad sound here. No, you know what? I got to check out a lot of good guitars this year. Can't complain. Got to check out quite a few. I was pretty happy with the guitar selections this year. And Robert, I don't know if you have you seen my my latest '80s shred guitar? Just curious. It's from the '80s. Sell off a couple, get a Rev Star. I go through that. You get a bunch of guitars, and then you're like, it's time to sell a few. You can get some new ones. Had to restart the stream. What was the new '80s shred machine, the Ibby? No. All right. Y'all ready for this? Hold on. Behold. Kramer. Americano. 86. Which I think predates your birth by 3 years. Goddamn punk kid. Could need a little tuning. You're only -3. I was 20 when this came out. 20. These pickups are actually, there it is. Those pickups in the Ibby, the DiMarzios, much higher output. I'm just saying, if John Mayer were alive today, he'd probably be playing a Kramer. Probably. The only thing that sucks is the matte finish has gotten right, from all the years of playing. But it's in pretty damn mint shape for a guitar that is older than you by 3 years. You know, this guitar is coming up on 40. 40 years old. How old was he? He was 40. And Jimmy, yep. Yep. It's all pinch harmonics these days. Tony's gifting the memberships. All right. We have some new members. Martian Murray. Ben Tom. The Old Boy. William De Silva. Terry Williams. Shame. For the next 30 days at least. Shame. So you've decided, yeah, we're going to mail you a pamphlet called "You've Decided to Throw Your Life Away." And it starts off, the first words are, shame. Shame. For you and your children and your children's children for 30 days. Don't you kind of have to play that, riff when you have a guitar like this? One not be excited for 30 days of shit. Exactly. It's the greatest Christmas gift one could receive. Exactly. Now we need shame patches. Exactly. This is an awesome Kramer. I don't make them like this anymore. If I had this Kramer for 40 years, no. Have I had it for 40 days? I'd have to go back and look. I think so. At least 40 days. I know I gotta get out the shame merch. It's, the public shaming. Exactly. Give the gift of shame this year. Don't you feel any shame? Feel it. I gifted it. I'll be so bummed if you don't do a run of shit. They just say, shame. Yeah. And have me going like, shame. Do I go to the NAMM show? I am going to the NAMM show. This isn't an 83, this is an 86. I have an 83, but this isn't it. They didn't do this headstock in 83. 83, they were still doing the Beaky Boy. They go to the hockey stick and offset hockey stick in 84, late 84, tilt back hockey stick in 85, pointy tilt back in 86. They kind of stick with this for the most part, though they changed the logo. If you didn't like the way Kramer was, guitars look, just give it 6 months. Then they'll have a whole new look. $60 CH, so Shame flute. '18 and '86. Awesome hair metal at that time, yeah. 86. Hated the logo change. It changed. It ruined the look of them. Yeah, you know what? They were just, they were just all over the place. It's like they were very reactionary, and I feel like that they were reacting to the rising popularity of Charvel and the pointy headstock of the Charvel and Jacksons. And they just felt the winds blowing towards that look. And they jumped on it. Now, once they went to this, they didn't seem to change the shape all that much, but they did change the logo. I was lost in 86. Shudder. 86 might go down as one of my worst years for a whole variety of reasons. It was a year of, it started out okay. It was a terrible summer. The summer of '86 was just god-awful, just like the friggin' worst. I was in a job I hated. I was dealing with crazy people like all the time. It was like constant drama, and I couldn't wait to go back to school. And when I was working for the music store, and I left the music store that summer, and I found out that they were moving in September, and I made sure I was back there for the move and working for them again. So I was only out of there for like a couple of months, but they were terrible months. Terrible summer job that I freaking hated. Just like one of those summers that I just hated everything about. It was hot. It was like dealing with crazy people, and it was just it was like ridiculously stressful, and just the whole summer just sucked. I was so happy to get back to the music store. Yeah, it was one of the worst days of my life. Yeah, summer of '86 was Shame. That was the summer. Shame. '86 was Shame. That's the only downside to this guitar. It does remind me of a pretty bad year. Although I do have fond memories going back. So relieved going back to the music store and working for them starting in September and helping them move, because they had to move their store. Basically, they were in this little building with one other company, a camera company that used to do photo prints. He was an instant photo place, a 1 hour photo, and he was growing like gangbusters. And he wanted to take over more, and they said, we can't go that small, and they wound up moving out. Oh, thank you, Deanna, for the first Shame shirt. Yeah. I'll have to see what I can do. I'll come up with something. The Shame shirt. You're wearing the Shame old thing. nice. Appreciate that. And Merry Christmas. You know, remember 86 being all that bad, ready for college. Yeah, I was in college at the time. And the spring was okay. The spring wasn't bad, but it all came crashing down starting in like about April. Like late March and into April. And I switched jobs, and it was just horrible. And so like May, June, and July. By July, I was so ready. I was so done with that new job. And I think I stuck it out until like kind of the end of August, but it was waning. And then finally that was it. It was over. And I was back to the music store, and really happy to be back, and really happy to be back to school too. Shame old. I think Shame Merch might have some legs, I know. The Shame Old Song and Dance. Exactly. What kept you at the music store for so long? They weren't terrible people to work for. And the job wasn't that hard. And you met interesting people, and, it was at least something surrounding something I was interested in. Before that, I was doing tires. I worked at a tire shop. In fact, very recently, I was just curious if I could find an old Coates machine I could throw out in the garage. The problem is those Coates machines, they need so much friggin' air. I don't have the type of compressor. I would need like 120 gallon compressor to be able to run a machine like that. They just piss through so much friggin' air. Have a good one, Robert. Thanks for hanging out, man. Merry Christmas. I'm at C.C. DeVille at the music store. Now, the only famous person that ever came in the music store we hired for a clinic, and that was Paul Gilbert. And the other guy was Steve Lynch, did a clinic, who was really good. The guy from Autograph, he was really friggin' good. And he had a lot about, like, the music business. And he was like, listen, if you don't have a plan, if you're with a band and that band hasn't done something, you haven't seen movement in like a year to 2 years, how long are you going to spend with them? It's time to get a new, if you really want to make it, he goes, you got to keep trying new lineups until you get one that clicks. He was really, and he was talking about trying to make money and, that's crazy. All right, Shane. Understood. Merry Christmas, Patty. Steve Lynch, the tapper, exactly. He did a whole clinic on tapping, and he went through and played like a lot of his solos from Autograph. And I remember when in one of them he kind of struggled to get through it, and he was a little embarrassed, and he said, not that I can play it anymore. And I just remember this dude there going, "No, man, you sound awesome. Don't sweat it. You sound awesome, man. Everything sounds freaking really good." And I think that made him feel good. Like he was, I think that really took a big load off his shoulders. He realized he was with a crew. He's like, "No, dude, no, we're really happy you're here. You sound great. Don't freaking sweat it. Don't worry about it." He was struggling with one of the tunes he he was struggling to get through. It was tough. It was a hard friggin' solo. And he finally, he got better as the night went on. You know, like anything, he warmed up. I don't know how much they paid to get Paul Gilbert, but he was doing a tour, and we were just one of the stops on the tour. And he pretty much seemed to do the same sort of thing because he had the same handout. I know people that went to the one he did in New Jersey, and they got the same handout. I found out, 30 years later. But he had this whole thing down. Like, he had this, he had a big intro, and then he had this whole lesson thing that he went through. First, he did a breakdown of the intro song, and then he did a big lesson thing, and then he did a big Q&A session, and then he was done. But he showed up late. I don't know if they overslept or they went to the wrong store or something. They got lost. They couldn't make their way to the store. They showed up very late, and my boss wanted him to go out, and he absolutely refused. He says no. He wanted to go into one of the teaching rooms in the back and warm up, and refused to go out until he warmed up. So everyone had to wait after he got there for about 25 minutes until he was ready to come out. He wanted to go through a warm-up routine. He absolutely was not coming out until he warmed up. Like Steve High's Big Trouble tapping solo halfway through, I get lost. Yeah, I tell you, that solo that he was trying to do was a combination of like open tapping, right, with a bunch of stuff. And I think he had a string skipping tapping he was doing. And that's what screwed him up, right? It was a very ambitious move that I'm sure he had practiced and worked out when he was younger. And now I'm sure he's older. He hasn't played it in forever because they haven't been touring. And who even knows if they're even doing that tune on the tour. And no, he just on one tune, I remember. He was definitely struggling, and he made light of it afterwards. I think he felt a little bad about it, and everyone was like, no, man, you sound good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Jennifer Batten's another one. She was on the same book label, same publisher, I think, which is, MIT or GIT, right, Musicians Institute. And she had a tapping book. They both had tapping books, I believe, under the same publisher. Of course, she looks so different in that photo because she's so much younger. Before the blonde hair, and she's got the, the big aviator regular glasses, That's like a kind of a late 70s, early 80s look. Oh my God, that coffee is so good. Oh, your name changed from BC Rich. There you go. Merry Christmas. Steve, new to your channel. Great videos. Thank you. Merry Christmas. We say Paul Gilbert shortly after. Oh, you saw me. Mr. Big opened up for Rush. The day before. Nice guy he is. Yeah. He came out on tour. I don't know if he was with Mr. Big yet. When he was on tour, I want to say that would have been the summer of '89. So June or July of '89 was when he came through town. And we had a packed room. We had a packed room. You had to pay to get in. I want to say it was a $5 cover charge. And they probably had 70 people show up. I still have the red Ibanez S470 with the Duncans. I do, but I took the Duncans out of it. I put the stock ones back. I was going to move the Duncans to another. Another guitar, but I still haven't done that. It's been a project that's been sort of held up. What's up, BC Rich? Was Mr. Big's debut was at 89? Yeah, they weren't announcing him as being in Mr. Big's then. I don't think Mr. Big... I want to say that he did that tour and then maybe they came out in the fall. Because I don't remember a mention of that. I remember him just sort of being out there. Oh man, we got more members. More members. Dan of NJ. Hunter. Remy Z. E.C. J.T. Cooper. Shame. 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 How do you become a member? I'm to be honest, I really don't know. But I think you go. I think it's either on the main page. It could be on the main page of my channel. But some people are saying you may not see it if you're on mobile, which doesn't make sense because they know so many people are on mobile. But you never know. So I know so much shame tonight. My God, the shaming. It's the Holiday Shame Fest 2024. Shame, big shame, big shame. So much shame. So much shame. All the shame. Tony says you click a join button. Okay, Evil Bastard says he's on iPad. Okay, so that's definitely the app. They're saying there's either a join button or... I don't know. I've never joined my channel. Mr. Debut was June 29th, 1989. I think he was there before that. Like a couple of weeks earlier. You wonder if it was kind of under wraps until it was officially announced. Exactly, there's a whole lot of shaming going on. Merry Seamus, exactly. We wish you a Merry Seamus. We wish you a Merry Seamus. We wish you a Merry. Now you've thrown your life away. Oh, thank you, Ripley. Merry Christmas, thank you. For a beef stick. This man knows me. Nicholas, oh man, thank you. Very much appreciated. He says, I'll check on the web version later. Yeah, you wonder if some features are just more easily accessible through the web than through the app. Which doesn't make sense. They have to realize that people are going through the app, right? But, you know. Merry Christmas, Ken. Hell yeah, Steve. No, thank you. Oh, man. YouTube is going to love you because they love memberships. We had hit 50 members at one point. And then we dropped to 40, but I think now we're up to 50, maybe more tonight. Evil Bastard. Ashley. Evil Jesus, and the Den of Tim's. Shame. Shame. Tommy says, thank you. New guy, great bell of shame. Merry Christmas, yeah. Yeah, you gotta do the bell of shame. Shame. Someone just gifted me a membership. Thank you. Yeah. So anyone who just got a membership, I did release a couple of videos in the last 30 days because YouTube was adamant about it. They're like, you have too many members and you're not releasing enough private membership stuff. So check out, there's 2 videos, all of my acoustics, and a tour of the synth room. Those are both for members only. And I think I did a couple of members only live shows that are up there. And then, of course, you have access to the members only emojis. And exactly, it's a night of shame. Shame, 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 shame. Shame, 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 shame. They write themselves. The Synth Hall of Shame was great. Thank you. I was trying to do something different, right? Something that I hadn't done before. Just showing something. I think this is just yeah, there. That's a little louder. Not much, but I just a little bit. I know we got a lot of green in the chat now. I love it. Where are the cats? Yeah, you know what? I think they figure out that it's nice and cool down here in the summer, but kind of cold down here in the winter. They've been upstairs. I had the window open earlier over here, but you know, that bitter cold wind was, that's the north facing side. The bitter cold wind was coming in, and they were like, no, because it whips the snow up into a fine powder, and they were getting a little powdery. And they weren't happy about it. I know exactly. You're gonna put your eye out with that, kid. It's remarkable that it's lasted, 38 years and still has the tip intact. Has not had been, that this hasn't been broken or smashed. They just do, right? Sooner or later, the guitar takes a header. And it gets damaged usually either right here or right there, right? Either 2 points takes a whacking, and it's just the way it goes. And it's just very lucky that it hasn't had. I suspect that whoever had it, he treated it well or just didn't play it a ton. Yeah, get a heated cat bed, yeah. Yeah, I could. I don't know. They're spoiled enough. Although I will say, when we used to have a waterbed 30 years ago. Remember those stupid ass things? And my cat loved the waterbed. Loved that waterbed. Gonna get a truss rod cover that says shame. The shame caster. The shame Paul. beakless Kramer, yeah. They do, they get a, you know, it's just statistically, right, the chances of it falling and getting hit is pretty high over such a long period. Case cleaning is the only way to keep guitar stink free, yeah. Yeah, I keep most of the ones that I don't want damaged in cases. For the same reason. Exactly. Velvet smoking jacket, sure. Well, thanks, Jeff. Merry Christmas to you. We were talking about that Sterling earlier. They've been good guitars. The Sterlings have been impressive. Exactly, Kramer, Shamer. Shamer, Kramer. It's the Shamer American. The Shamer Deluxe. The Shamer Imperial. People are saying I should just keep this one, but just get a brushed metal one. It'll last longer. It'll look better, and then you can always just put this one back on it, so you can sell it and say it's all stock, it's all original, right? You don't get rid of it. You hold on to it. I might have a point. What pickups on these? These came with Duncans. So that's like a Duncan JB, and I believe these are the Duncan Vintage Staggered. Because they had to put something American in the guitar. I mean, they're calling it Kramer American. Something has to be American. Always keep the original. You know what? You'll regret getting rid of it. Someone may want that original one, and you can. It's always a perk to say, "I have the original parts," because someone will be like, oh, "Okay." Even if they're beat up, they just want the original parts. Especially on a guitar so old, it's not like I got a 2022 something and I have the original pick guard. It's like, well, who cares, right? But in 86, they kind of do want that. At some point, it became a vintage relic. Yeah, Kramer used Schaller until 85, and then they switched over to Duncan. And a lot of people the speculation was they needed something American in the guitar. Right, you had German tuners, you had a German-made trem, you had a Japanese-made neck and a Japanese-made body. And I think they would paint the bodies in New Jersey, but all the hardware and everything else, like the origins of all the stuff, was either Japan or Germany. And so they needed something in there American, and they went with the Duncans. Were the knobs made in America? I'm not even sure. Maybe. I think what they did do in America, though, was I think they had their custom colors. Right? So they would paint the bodies, and they had their special diamond coat, which is why, it sort of holds up after all the years. They had their special diamond coat. And it's a pretty dark rosewood fretboard. As rosewood fretboards go. It's pretty nice. It was certainly assembled in the USA, yeah, to some degree. You wonder how much it feels like as time went on, they did less and less to the neck. They were probably always coming with frets, but then I feel like later on, they might have even been coming with the logo, right, already on it, and the headstock already painted, just to cut down that step. And then they would paint the body, they get the body raw, or sealed and primed, and then they would do their top coat, and then they would assemble the whole thing. Any drones overhead? No, we don't have any drones here. They said they had some in the town next door, but everybody's seeing drones now. You need a silicone tip protector? I haven't worn a tip protector in years. Headstock helmet. There you go. I haven't needed a tip protector in some years. And there you go. I asked Gemini how many videos I've made. 915. Which sounds like a lot, and then you look at Henning and he's got like 3,000 videos. You're like, yeah, whatever, bro. Yeah. It's more about quality than quantity. Though, not with YouTube. YouTube, more is more. YouTube wants you to upload 10 videos a day. What's your outlook on gear market for 2025? I suspect that we'll continue to see prices for used guitars come down. And I see prices on new guitars starting to stall. And you're starting to see some sales. Like, for example, they had a bunch of Les Pauls that were up for $27.99. But they were down at $22.99. Like, as a special sale for Christmas time. So, you're seeing a softening, I think. They want to push sales. And the one thing that will push sales is price. Way more, and more than anything else. So, I think you're going to see the market continue to either stall out or even drop down a little bit. Certainly used prices have come way down from where they were. They're almost back to, pre-pandemic prices, from what I can see. Not quite there, but I'm seeing way, way more than what I did, certainly 18 months ago. Request the 83 Beretta reissue for Guitar of the Week. I'll see if they have one. If it's a reissue, they may have one. You got 20% off your telly. I don't know if the economy stinks that bad, though. There's a lot of metrics saying it depends on where you look. Some things are still chugging along. It depends. Certainly, I think guitar prices are going to be softening, without a doubt. First of all, you got to remember there was a huge push up through the pandemic. A lot of people bought guitars. Those will be flooding the market. You're already seeing it to some degree. So, it literally just comes down to supply and demand. People have enough guitars, so demand is down. And they keep churning them out, and plenty of people have used guitars for sale, so there's plenty of supply. So, what's interesting is like the video, like gaming, like the video card market. They still have the artificial, what I want to call that, scalper inflation, where they just came out with a new, Intel just came out with a new card that's, designed to be, a really good value at $249. It competes with cards that are like $299 to like $329. So you can save a little bit of money. You get roughly the same performance, a little better on some things, a little worse on others, but on average, about the same, if not better, than a card that goes for $50 to $70 more. But people bought those cards up and they're marking them up by $120 to $150. You literally can't get one. People want $399 for a $249 card. So you see that, right? It's what I call the PS3 syndrome, when so many people buy them just to flip it. And it's a big, it's a scourge to the industry. So you would think that Intel would be able to meet the market, but they can't. They sold out, and now it's all scalpers, and it's all, a 50 to 70% markup. Yeah, the B580 should be $250. They want $379, $399 on the marketplace. I think there's still, you know what, Chris? I think there's room to grow with the accuracy of amps, and I think AI can probably help with that, right? Because they'll train it on way more values, with what they would call a token. And that's what they do now, right? They basically come up with snapshots that are kind of like the equivalent of like a keyframe, like an animation. So that after you've captured the amp, you can go in and you can turn the knobs on the modeler and it reacts like it should react, right? That's a trickier thing than you would think. So I think as AI gets better at like morphing between those keyframes, I think you're going to hear more and more realistic, recreations of tube amps, which is just, it's just convenient and it's consistent. That's why so many live acts have switched to digital. It's a lot less weight to haul around, and it sounds the same night after night after night. They don't have to worry about voltage and crap like that. Micro Center has them at $250. Just got to walk in. I have one over in Cambridge. But I'd have to drive all the way over to Cambridge to get it. It's not an easy place to get to. Be driving over the friggin' BU Bridge. Take the Jamaica way down to the BU Bridge. Yeah. I should check. They probably would have them in stock. Although they're in Cambridge, right next to MIT. Though the school's out of session now. Has Reverb eliminated finding a good used guitar at a pawn shop? Well, that sort of started ending with eBay and the internet, because they would look it up. So the days of walking in and walking out with a guitar based on what the guy paid for it versus what it's worth are kind of over. Right? You used to be able to walk in and walk out with like a 72 Strat for $300, but those days are long gone. Pretty much since like the early 80s. Well, really, the early, late, like mid, when did the internet really come out? 94, 95, I feel like was a big push. People moving away from online services like AOL and Prodigy and CompuServe and moving just straight to the internet. All right. As I said, when these companies doing models start utilizing new advanced RISC-ARM CPUs, only get better and better. Yeah. What you got to remember that for a lot of the the audio stuff, they use very pared down DSP risks, right? And then they use other logic to help control it. Oh my gosh, Tony, we have more. Peter Stevis, Cree, Matt H, Jeffrey Monroe. Can't even say it. I've had a lot of coffee tonight. Hanover Green. Shame. 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 So you've decided to end your life. Thoughts on donating used guitars to a school. Again, can anyone to call me back? Guess they're interested. I just donated a couple to a local little school. But I knew the guy. And I said, just take him. Maybe you can either use him as an emergency guitar if someone shows up without a guitar, or give it away in a raffle or something. Whatever you want to do. Sometimes, like, we have a place around here called Savers, but sometimes they don't take musical instruments because it's too technical for them. I'm not really sure. Aljon, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Check this out. Have you seen this one, Aljon? 86, bro. Recent acquisition. Pretty good shape. Good old 86. Kramer Pacer Deluxe. As we would say, Kramer Pacer. Exactly. It's the shame. Happy Festivus. I got a real problem with a lot of you guys. The airing of grievances. Shame. Does sound good. Noise Kramer. Saw your video on Steve. Yeah, love those. Yeah, right. Right. The diamond coat. Back then. Oh yeah. It's clean. It is freaking clean. It's a clean machine. It's got everything. Doot. Like a stripe in the back. couple of holes in everything. I need her. I love her. I love her. You know, Steve, I'm bringing back those candy finishes next year. Now you go. There you go. There, see, there is a... And they say there isn't a Santa Claus. If I peeked under the pickguard to check out what's going on there, I haven't yet. I'll do it the next time I pull the strings off. I also have I want to switch up the claw in the back because the guy used the split trem setter claw, which I'm not crazy about. I have a brass claw that I can put in it and replace it. I'll replace the claw at the same time. But I might do something with this. It is kind of in the way. I could replace the three-way. It's not hooked up. Whoever had it was probably hitting it all the time, and they disabled it. So I could take that out and keep it. I wouldn't throw it away and just put in a. I think I have a little Tessie switch that'll fit in the same size hole. A little Tessie, kill switch. And it would at least be flat and low, right? I wouldn't hit it. So, just a thought. We'll see. Knowing me, I probably won't do anything. It's all just stock. Steve, have I ever tried an Yngwie Malmsteen Fender? I have, and I liked it. Problem is I fell in love with the rosewood fretboard with the candy apple red, kind of like what this looks like, right? It's a rosewood fretboard with candy apple red body. And turns out those were way rarer than I knew, and I should have just bought one when I had the chance. I haven't really seen them come up for less than $2,000 now. They're more like $2,500 and up if you want the rosewood and you want the candy apple. But back then you could have got one for, the $9.99 or $10.99 instead of the $8.99 that the regular Yngwie was going for. Man. I could get a little plug. I could also do that. Just plug it up. Use the LED Tessie. Look at you. That could be kind of nice. Absolutely. Though I'd have to probably throw it at the very least a 2032 in there or something. If not a 9-volt. But that's okay. I'll do it. The matching pairs, the flip-flop blue Kramer Deluxe, like Reb. Yeah, the flip-flop. We were looking at some of the old catalogs. In fact, the catalog that this guitar was in, and they had the custom colors, and then they had like a something blue, something pink, something like some other red or something. I was like, what the hell is this? It was flip-flop. They were doing all the flip-flop colors then. It was like flip-flop blue, flip-flop pink, I remember was one of them. Oh, that's right. You have an 87 flip-flop blue Kramer Pacer. That's a custom one? Is that the single, double custom one? Is that what you have? Speaker? Mid-80s Kramer Focus guitars are probably best value in 2024. They used a lot of regular Kramer parts with the import pickups, but they very often would use, at least on some of the earlier ones, They would just use the regular Floyd Rose. They didn't use like a Floyd Rose special. They didn't have one. Floyd Rose wasn't making a special yet. So you know, you could get it, like, I want to say the Focus like 3,000. It's pretty much like my '83 Kramer, right? It's almost the identical guitar. My favorite guitar in your collection by far, yeah? HSS, yeah, hits on all cylinders. I like HSS. I'm a fan. You know, because you get that nice Strat tone, plus you get the rock, you know, bridge tone. Yeah, I think HSS is one of the more versatile setups. So some would say HSH because you could do splits, but splits aren't exactly the same. It's never quite the same. I think fans of the Kramer Pacer Deluxe will dig what I'll be putting out next year. Oh, color me interested. Color me curious. Sounds good. Nice teaser. Yeah, ESP made a lot. The ESP certainly made the Focus stuff, but they made a lot of parts for the American stuff too. It was sort of split between ESP, Sports, and Lucido, and then eventually they just narrowed it just down to ESP. So our first White Christmas in years should be good. Should be interesting. Though it might be, I have to check the weather. Might be a little brisk out there to be cooking that tenderloin. I'm gonna have to friggin' preheat that. Preheat the grill for like 30 minutes. Today's show for me is like church, show up late, leave early, sure. Have a good one. Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you, Curtis. Merry Christmas, Steve. Just a thought or an idea for members video. Most popular FAQs. Sure. Recently came across one from like 10 years ago. I've been through some. I thought about reviving that. The thing. Let me give you the dark secret about FAQ videos. If a YouTuber responds to your question in the comments, they earn no money. But if they respond to your question with a video, they earn money from the video. So there was a huge move to like never type a response because you're not getting paid for that. You're wasting your time. To just pluck it out, make a video, and monetize that. So I did the FAQs like once or twice, but I haven't done it in a while. And I could bring it back. What are we going to do next year? We have Guitar of the Week. What are we going to do? Pedal of the Week? Amp of the Week? Pick of the Week? String of the Week? Huh? Something? Maybe? We'll figure something out. FAQ of the Week? Question of the Week? And I would have to speed up the voice like Glenn Fricker. If we learned nothing from Glenn, Merry Christmas, Brian. Have you seen the zebra pacer on Kramer's website? Now, let me take a look here. All right. You say it's on here. Oh, these look new. Say new arrival. I think we looked at these a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Pretty recently. You mean this one, the new wild zebra? Or zebra? Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, there's the OG beak headstock. That predates the one I'm on by like 4 years. I want to say 82. That might have come out. 81, they're still doing the Fender headstock. Then they switched to this. Could have been 82, 83. Certainly by 83, but 82. And that sticks around for until like 84. And then they moved to the offset hockey stick, and then the tilt-back hockey stick in 85, and then the tilt-back pointy, in like the one I'm playing now in 86. Like I said, if you didn't like the look of a Kramer, just give it 6 months. Because back then, they were all over the place. And that looks nice. Shame of the week. THU patch of the week. Roof repair of the week. I watched 3 squirrels climb out of my roof the other day. I'm ready to get the spray with the AK. Name that riff. I heard that. Yeah, great news on Glenn's wife out of the hospital on Monday and slowly on the recovery. I saw his update video. So that was that she was out of intensive care. So I didn't know that she was out of the hospital. So that's great. That's fantastic. Are you still into those ginormous guitar picks? Absolutely. I love those. All right. When new arrivals, there you go. All right, let me go back here. What's up, Sassy Cat? Merry Christmas. Sorry, Elaine. I hope you and your family have a most festive of holidays. We should. Should be good. Oh, yeah, I think he's leaving now. My son has to work the overnight. He's an EMT. And he's got to do the overnight tonight. Normally he would have worked today from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. But today he's got to work from 10 p.m. until 7 a.m. Exactly. I need something to take. Those squirrels are they're just taunting me now. No empty nest yet. Oh, man. Thank you, Chris. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. You guys looking for anything in particular for Christmas? I am not holding out hope. I usually get a pretty random Christmas gifts. They have no idea what to get me. So I usually get, it's going to be a lot of random stuff from, Harbor Freight, which, believe it or not, is a step in the right direction compared to where it used to be. And probably, if I know my wife, she bought like bird food, Oh, I thought you needed new bird food. Sure. Yeah, I got you some rock salt for the driveway. Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you, Sassy. Booyah, thank you. Very generous. Exactly. A PRS double neck under the tree, right? Oh, thank you, Calvin. Wow. Merry Christmas. Here's my contribution to clean up of the mess we leave in the basement at the end of each Saturday night. Oh, thank you. And welcome. We have a new member. Jeff Weaver. So you've decided to throw your life away. Shame. Shame. And thanks to Calvin. Very much appreciated. Yeah, no, Harbor Freight, trust me, my gifts have gone through the roof infinitely, more useful since my wife has discovered she can go to Harbor Freight and drop $50 and get, 200 items. I know, welcome to all the new members tonight. We might hit a new record for members. If I have enough members, I might be able to unlock more emojis. I got to check. They're kind of weird like that. You get so many emojis depending on how many people are members. And so I have to check and see, maybe we have enough members now, at least in the short term, to unlock another emoji. I'll find out this week. And then next week we'll have to talk about all of our New Year's Eve plans, like mine in front of the TV, watching people be cold or rained on. I haven't gone out for New Year's Eve. Oh God, long time. When I was in college, I went to first night in Boston a few times, but it wears off. No Beatles on the Kramer. I'm just saying, if George Harrison were still alive, he'd probably be playing a Kramer American. It probably. We can only speculate. I'm just saying, this does seem like his style. Exactly. If Paul McCartney were still alive, he'd probably be playing a Kramer. Only Hendrix's version of Day Tripper. There you go. Or, oh, Ogre Lord, thank you. Merry Axmas and Shreddy New Year. Nice. SFB, happy holidays. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everybody. That's very much appreciated. Exactly. If Andre Segovia was alive today, he'd probably be playing a Pacer Imperial. I mean, that just makes sense. I think he was leaning towards that at the end of his career, but, you know. Exactly. If Yoko Ono were alive, she'd probably watch John Lennon play a Kramer. Exactly. If Django Reinhardt were alive today, he'd probably be playing a Jackson soloist. It just makes sense. People of Earth, how are you? Merry Christmas, Steve. God, I love the Beatles. So many great tunes, you know. But that's Hendrix's Reharm. Have a good one, speaker. Merry Christmas. We'll talk soon. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a happy Hanukkah. I think Hanukkah is on Wednesday as well. And have a crazy Kwanzaa. And, of course, a solemn and dignified Ramadan. And we will do it all again next week as we do the New Year's show. Just that easy. They named themselves. Oh, super thanks to everyone who hung out tonight. Extra super special thanks to anyone who contributed, and welcome to all the new members. Great to have you on board. And of course, a brofist to my mod squad. Hashtag brofist. Hashtag mod squad. Hashtag Ben Coombs is alive. Coombs. Hashtag Coombs sighting. And I'll see you all in a week. And until then, have a wonderful Christmas. And we'll talk about all the crap we got for Christmas in a week. We can commiserate. What did you get? I got birdseed. be like, that's pretty bad. No, you rock. Have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you all again. Yeah, Ben's Coombs, hashtag Ben's Coombs found. Exactly. Next week, it's all New Year's and drinks and all that. And we will do it all again. And there you go. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy Hanukkah. And I will see you in a week. And there you go. No, you rock. I'm going to try and get a Christmas song out. No promises. We'll see. You know, things are quickly getting very, very busy. And Christmas will be here before you know it. So maybe not. We'll see. And then, yeah, there you have it. All right. No, you rock. All right. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And I'll see you next week. And there you go. No, you rock. All right. Later.